Greetings, everybody. This is the Nova Narrator, coming to you with Fly Hard, Chapter 3, The Final Battle. Keep in mind, this one has viewer discretion, because, fair warning, there is a collapse scene near the end. So, may I kindly ask you, don't do any of that red flag stuff, because it's morally wrong. If I could age restrict it myself, I would. But I haven't really learned how to do that myself. So, further ado, let's just get into it. Putting together what troops he has left, Pegasi Commander Roy Thunder gathers up what weapons and supplies him and his soldiers could find. Still contemplating his battle strategy as his lieutenant walks in, her expression unreadable, or it was because the commander was too indulged with his battle strategy, as she walked in, muttering a simple "sir," as Roy looks up at her. And he says, "Lieutenant Stardust, what is it?" She looks back at him with a concerned expression, saying, "The Griffin Fortress on Mount Centurian is the most heavily fortified base in the Griffin Armada. It's going to take a lot of firepower to take it down." He looks back at her, scratching a hoof on his chin as he thinks, and tells her, "I guess we're just going to have to hit them with everything we got, and hope for the best." She looks back at him and says, "That's basically a suicide mission, sir." And he replies back in a subtle tone, "Yeah, if we die, it's been a pleasure serving with you, Lieutenant." And then she just replies with a "sir, yes, sir," and then goes back to her duties. A few hours later, after all the planning, they head out to battle, flanking the fortress from the most vulnerable side. At all the highest points, the snipers get into their positions as the Air Force prepares the bombing brigades up in a safe zone about a mile away. They were going to take this fortress or die trying, Roy said before he left the base, and he meant every word. As they wait for the signal as it happens, everything around them turns black, and then everything around them turns to darkness as Griffins are getting shot down left and right, not being able to see as the Pegasi are using thermal goggles. That way they can still stay hidden and fight. Machine gun fire and sword violence can be heard all around as the Griffin captain utters his war cry as he is struck down by Roy himself. The Griffin lieutenant was naturally taken down by the Pegasus Lieutenant Stardust, who stabbed her when she had her back turned fighting with another Pegasus. The Griffins never expected the tag team action. Being Griffins means they were not used to working together, and I guess that was their weakness. The Pegasi got several casualties on their team as well, but not as much as the last battle, and Roy was thankful for that. After the battle, battered and beaten, the commander and his remaining soldiers limp back to the base, beaten all to hell from the fight to the death with the Griffin Centurion base. But they held their ground and took it down, the biggest achievement they ever accomplished. And even though they were in pain, they were damn well proud of themselves. and Roy walks back to his desk, and to his surprise, standing in his office, he meets his wife, Storm. As Roy looks her over, realizing she's okay, stunned, he asks, "Honey, I thought you were dead." She looks back at him, giving a content smile, apologizing for that, and she said, "No, I escaped with a few others when the Griffins attacked the base in Cloudsdale." As Roy jumps on top of her, kissing her deeply, surprising her as all she does is reciprocate against him, pressing back into the kiss and moaning contently. As she starts to lean into him, her tail swishing playfully back and forth between his hind legs, as he thrusts in, causing her to moan somewhat loudly as Roy shoves a book in her mouth to keep her quiet. As he continues with a steady pace, thrusting in and out of her, making her stifle her moans as she bites on the book hard, her tail swishing back and forth in pleasure as she squirms underneath him with each thrust. She leans her head back, moaning as her ears fold back contently, her wings flapping slightly with pleasure coursing through her as he continues to pleasure her to the fullest extent of his broken down body. Ignoring the pain from the war, he continues to pleasure his wife with steady, hard thrusts, which causes her to moan and squirm even more as he plants gentle bites and kisses on her neck, wings, and ears, which causes her to squeal even more. As her eyes roll up in the back of her head, she spits out the book and utters a loud roaring moan as she comes all over him, as Roy does the same in her. As they both lay there passionately holding each other, panting after the lovely reunion they just had, as they both drift to sleep in each other's hooves in his office. The end. Well, that was Fly Hard Chapter 3. If you guys liked it, make sure to leave a like below, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications because I do a lot more than just fan fiction. And some of it's actually pretty interesting. Thank you and have a nice day, every pony. Nova out.